Good, good afternoon, my dear friends. It's a great pleasure to be here with you today. My name is Nchumbonga, Lekelefac, and I would like to elucidate you, my friends, on some recent articles I wrote to you some days ago. As you can see at the right side of my desk is the Code of Canon Law, and the topic I would like us to talk today, my dear friends, is the true meaning of Cathedraticum, a voluntary gift, not a compulsory tax. Recently, in the Archdiocese of Bamenda, we saw a circular that was issued by Father Ngalin George, in which he has imposed taxes in different parishes. This is canonically illegitimate. Cathedraticum is not an imposition of taxes. It's not a compulsory tax. It's a voluntary gift. So my dear friends, it's important, it's extremely important for me to elucidate to you, my dear priests and laity of the Archdiocese of Bamenda, of the Ecclesiastical province as a whole, on this serious topic. Now, Cathedraticum is a practice in the Catholic Church that expresses the unity of the diocesan bishop the unity of the diocesan church under its bishop. However, there has been grave misunderstanding and abuse of this practice, particularly in our Bamenda Ecclesiastical province, where Father Ngalin, of course, through the consultation of Archbishop Andrew Gere, have imposed fixed financial contributions, 121 million. Can you believe that? In an archdiocese where people are dying of hunger, where there has been a war for 7 years, we have a shepherd who is trying to extort money from the poor. This is totally unevangelical and it is extremely serious. So that's why I took time to explain to you, my dear friends. This article will authoritatively teach you the magisterial, theological, pastoral, and canonical meaning of Cathedraticum. Now, the term Cathedraticum comes from the Latin word cathedra, which means a chair. That's why every diocese has a cathedra where the bishop sits. This signifies the bishop's authority in the diocese. Okay? So, and not in its original sense, it refers to a voluntary contribution made by parishes to support the bishop in his pastoral ministry. Now, let us go. What is the purpose of Cathedraticum? The church, through the magisterium and canon law, teaches that Cathedraticum serves three purposes, my dear friends. The first is to assist the bishop in his pastoral ministry. The second is to strengthen the unity between the bishop and the faithful. And the third is to help maintain the diocesan structures that serve the church. However, nowhere in the church's teaching is Cathedraticum defined as a compulsory financial tax imposed upon Christians. There's no document in the church that imposes Cathedraticum. Okay? Now, let's go to the magisterial and canonical teachings. Now, the Code of Canon Law explicitly, the Code of Canon Law explicitly upholds the voluntary nature of giving to the church. Okay? Canon 1261 paragraph 1 states that the faithful are free to give temporal goods to the church. However, they are not to be forced to do so against their will. Okay? That's Canon 1261 paragraph 1. This clearly shows that Cathedraticum is a free gift, not a forced obligation, as Father Ngalin and Archbishop Gere are doing. What they're doing is totally uncanonical and totally illegitimate, and we must stop them. Let's go to the tradition of church on free will offering. The church fathers and the magisterium have always insisted that offerings to the church must be given out of love and not by force. We are not in a tyranny where you force people to give money, you tax people, tax Christian communities, you impose yourself on them. It's not done. Now, why must Cathedraticum not be compulsory? Let's go to the Catechism of the Catholic Church, number 2043. What does it state? It states that the faithful have the duty to provide for the material needs of the church, each according to his or her own ability. So you don't force people. His according to her own ability, and that is voluntary. It's not imposed. Okay? Now, Pope Francis in his Apostolic Letter Misericordia et Misera, what did he say? He said the church works of mercy must be free and never demanded as an obligation. So Archbishop Kia and Farangalim are imposing, in fact, they're imposing these taxes on poor Christians. It is not correct. Okay? It must never be done. It is not an obligation. Contributions have never been an obligation in the church. Now, bishops must not exploit the poor. Why are these? Why is Archbishop Kia exploiting the poor people? It's not done, it's not correct. And somebody must tell him to stop. Now, what is the canonical abuse of Archbishop Andrew Kia? Archbishop Andrew Kia has fixed an amount of 121 million, which he wants everybody to contribute. Christians, schools, religious institutions, which is a serious canonical violation. Now, Canon 384 requires the bishop to care for his priests and faithful, not to exploit them. And Clare has been exploiting them, he doesn't care for them. Priests have been dying of hunger. People, you've been seeing letters out, open letters. Now, Canon 529, paragraph 1 states that the bishop must know the needs of his people and act with pastoral charity. Archbishop Kia has clearly proven that he disregards the poor. That's a clear evidence. Because he doesn't care about these poor people. These people are, some of them barely have a balanced square meal a day. And they've been suffering for war. Some don't even have a job. Some have been homeless. And you are there imposing taxes on people simply because you want to renovate a cathedral which has no problem. Are you not a wicked person, Archbishop Kia? You are simply wicked because you are senseless. You don't care about the poor. I don't know how you celebrate Mass with such a wicked attitude. It doesn't make sense to me. Does it make sense to you, my listeners and viewers? That there has been a war for 7 years, people have been dying. We have an archbishop who is extorting money from people. To do what? To build a structure. Is he not in his right senses? Doesn't make any sense to anybody. Now, what is the injustice against students and the poor? Now, these students, most of them, their parents are struggling to sponsor them in school, and you are trying to impose taxes on the students to pay. Are you not a wicked man? Can't you have feelings for people? It doesn't make any sense. No, it doesn't make sense. Now, Pope John Paul II in Centesimus Annus 1991 said that the church must always defend the poor against all forms of economic exploitation. And unfortunately, in our own church in Pamela Province, our Bishop Archbishop Kia is trying to exploit the poor. We have to stop him. Yes, we have to stop him. Now, what do we have to do? The people of the Archdiocese of Bamenda have to reject. Okay? They must not be afraid. They have to say, no, Archbishop Kia, this is too much. We are not going to consider it frank. Because you're trying to exploit us. Yes, they have to say that immediately. Okay, my friends? Now, Cathedraticum is a free will offering, not a mandatory tax. Canon law prohibits coercion in financial giving. The church has condemned financial exploitation by bishops. Christians must reject fear and stand up against abuse. So if Archbishop Andrew Kia refuses to listen, then it is time for the Vatican to investigate and dismiss him from the clerical state. Exactly. Because this guy is just totally anti-Christ. Christ came for the poor, he cared for the poor, and this man is exploiting things from them, and he calls himself an archbishop, and we should watch and see. So why did I go to study canon law? Why did we study the code of canon law if we cannot speak out and say no to this tyranny and this imposition and this despotic way of treating Christians? So my dear friends, this video was just to elucidate you on this important topic of Cathedraticum. The faithful have the right to question financial matters. Canon 212, paragraph 3. The bishop must show transparency in how church funds are used. Okay? So Archbishop Kia, we are kindly calling on you. Okay? We are kindly calling on you to stop. In fact, that letter you got is null and void. Yes, that statement by Father George is null and void. Please, dear Christians, don't follow that null and void document, because it is canonically illegitimate. Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to elucidate to you, and I'm going to be doing frequent videos to you, my dear friends, so that we can educate ourselves. We have to know the code of canon law, and the bishops have to be held accountable. It was Nchumbonga George Lekelefac, all the way from the United States, in my desk. Thank you. God bless.